the last video, and if you have been following me, well done. Give yourself a high five, clap for yourself. So the last thing here is content pages. How do you create a content page? Very similar to the service page, nothing so complex. You come to this big blue button at the top here. You see create new entry. You click on it. Give it a few seconds to load. So at the top here, you see is draft. It means that it has not been published. You know, when you're writing an email, sometimes you have not sent the email. Sometimes you save it. So it's saved as draft. So you have not sent it yet. So we give it a name. So it's asking us what should the title of this content page be. So we can say um, loans for women, for example. Just a good example. And then descriptions. So you can say all information you need to get loans as a woman. So the first thing you want to look at also is that be careful that it's not more than 80 characters because that is the maximum number of characters you can put basically. So the next thing, like I said, is this slug here. So how do you do the slug? There's no need to write the long, try to define your slug by yourself. Just click on regenerate, give it some few seconds. It will take the title and just close out the spaces. So it says it's available, which is good news. Then the next part is category. So basically, where should this page sit? What is the parent of this page? What is the page before this page? So we can say that because it's under loans, we can go through our list of pages and say because it's under loans, it can sit under, let's say for example, it should sit under the business page. But this you would have decided after looking at your own information architecture. So when you have studied your information architecture, know where information should be placed, you can just select where it should be placed. So the next thing is what is the outline for this page? So the outline is like the last thing you write. You would have written your content first before you write your outline. So I believe that you write this in Microsoft Word or you write it in Google Doc or you write it in one text editor or the other before you bring it in here. So you can just write it simple. Then who is this for? So you have to define who this service is for. And the reason for this is that from our research, we realized that some people exclude themselves from services because they are not sure if something is for them or not. So here is good to clearly write who this information is for. Remember, study the content guide on how to write these things to make sure everyone can read it and everyone can understand it. Also, you are not writing for yourself, you are not writing for your understanding, you are writing for the residents of the state. So also we can add related pages. So basically, what kind of pages are similar to the kind of page you just created? So loans for women, I can look at, for example, the loans page, I can look at the business page and literally just select them as related pages. So usually you can add no related page, but at least try to add one or two related pages. Then the last part here is the contributor. So basically, what ministry, department, and agency in government or government entity is in charge of this information or who took part in getting this information. So there are many of them who, for example, on loans, it will probably be sits under maybe Ministry of Business, Trade and Cooperatives. And these places, what is their website? So I already have some websites here. Normally you have to copy it from your browser. So what is their website? You enter that, uh, you click publish. Remember, if you click save, it just saves as draft. It's still there pending review by you or your superior. When you click publish, it becomes published. And at the top here, you see published. The last video we're going to look at is how to write the content. Basically, a very, very simple example of how to write the content.